but there is a large subset of Penguins nation here, if you will, that isn't going to believe it until they see it from Tristan Jarry in the postseason. And that is what makes this such a volatile kind of wait-and-see situation. I think they're good enough, top to bottom, if they're healthy, to make a serious cup run, but he's got to deliver his end of the goods in the playoff.
Do you think that'll stick with them? I mean, maybe he's over it. Maybe he used last year's motivation. I mean, we all tried to run him out of town. I think everyone tried to run the guy out of town. I'm surprised that he's even back in the Penguins uniform this year.
I mean, there are people that say you've got to have that first playoff experience as a goalie, and very rare is the player who, like Patrick Waugh or even Matt Murray, in his first taste of the playoffs, brings it completely and just dominates. I think it takes sort of a special kind of player to do that. It also takes somebody who probably just doesn't even think about what they're actually accomplishing in the moment. Jarry, the knock on him always was coming up through the minors, Richie, that he would play 58 great minutes and 2 bad ones. People would suggest that it was maybe a focus issue or a mental issue. So when that was the knock on the guy, when he had that bad of a postseason kind of debut, I think it's fair to wonder if he's going to recover from it. You just hope that he tracks more like a lot of goalies, where that first playoff run might be rough, but then they recover and they're more relaxed and they're more confident the next time they get there.
Hey, we've seen that storyline before with Matt Murray and Marc-Andre Fleury. You play 58 great minutes and you give up a couple bad goals. Let's go out to Bill in Castle Shannon. How you doing, Bill?
Hey, how you doing, Rick?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Hey, the last time the Steelers played Kansas City 2 weeks ago, don't forget there was a lot of holding calls on T.J. Watt, which they should have called.
T.J. Watt didn't play in that game.
I'm putting 10 G's on the Steelers on the money line.
Okay, great. Hey, what would that pay him? I think he's watching the wrong game, right? T.J. Watt didn't play.
That would pay something like, I think that would pay something like $55,000 right now. I think they're going off at plus 550, I want to say.
Hey,
right now on the money
I forget
line.
who the call was. Bill or I think you're wasting your money. Hold on to the $10,000. Don't bet it on the money line, the Steelers. Trust me on this one. Let's go out to Jay in Penn Hills. How you doing, Jay?
Yeah, how are you doing? Briarwood Drive, strong.
Yeah, Briarwood Drive. My dad grew up on Briarwood Drive. How you doing?
That's right. Hey, I'm just continuing to ride this wave. I know it's impossible. It's looking tough, but why not just enjoy it? And I'm being optimistic that hopefully in 2022, Mueller will leave the state and go to another station.
Oh, I love Mueller, Chris. That's so jive, right?
What state should I go to?
They probably
Cleveland
want
or
you to
Ohio
go back to Ohio,
Cleveland?
right? Yeah. I mean, they
go back to the
them.
state you weren't born in. Go back home to the state you're not even from. Go back to the city you weren't born in.
This is one of my guys, too. Jay from Penn Hills.
If they want me to go back, listen, if they want me to go back and work in my birthplace, then I'm going to have to start a radio show that broadcasts on location at Passivant Hospital in the Canlis, Richie, okay? Like, if we can get maybe a booth set up there somewhere, I can get one of those nice corner offices. Maybe then I can broadcast the radio show from my birthplace.
Hey, maybe Jay is listening on 93.7 The Fan and doesn't see that you are wearing black and gold. So.
Hey, Jay, brother, it's all for the brand tonight, baby. It's all for the brand.
All right, let's go out to Fred in North Huntington. How you doing, Fred?
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Hey, I had a college football question about the transfer portal. What was the reasoning for the NCAA actually bringing this transfer portal in? I mean, it gets frustrating as a fan to see these guys. I think they're just transferring for any particular reason at all. Is this a long-term thing that's going to happen? Is this thing here to stay? The reason I bring this up is you take a team like Alabama and Georgia. They got 4- and 5-star recruits all over the field. If they happen to lose a player or two, it's no big deal. They just replace them. You take a program that's trying to possibly build something, they build something up, and now you lose 2 and 3 players just for whatever reason. It just, to me, seems like an unfair rule, and it's a feeding frenzy.
Where did Pitt just get their next quarterback from?
Yeah.
What did Pitt just use to get Keaton Slovis? The transfer portal from USC.
I think it's here to stay,
which is not exactly like
Chris.
A college football backwater.
It's here to stay. I mean, you know, I just think there was that 1 year.
Wait a minute.
Colleges could
Richie,
roll that.
hold on. Richie, it's here to stay. That's not the important part to me, like why it came about. It's here to stay, which is what matters, right? Like it came about and now it's here.
Yeah.
So what was the caller just called? What was his name? I already forgot because I was blind with anger. You've got coaches who leave. Like, so you don't like the fact that players can transfer portal, go in there and go somewhere else. But Lincoln Riley says, I want to make more money at USC, and suddenly Oklahoma and Caleb Williams part ways. Williams is entering the transfer portal because the coach who recruited him bolted for literally financially greener pastures, it seems. Left them in the lurch. Brian Kelly jumped ship from Notre Dame to LSU, and we all just say, hey, that's what happens. The coaches bring a lot of guys with them. It is very annoying to me that people still focus on saying, how dare these players look out for themselves when the coaches who sell them a bill of goods in all of these situations to get them to come and play for them do the exact same thing and leave those programs in the lurch to a far greater degree, far more often.
Yeah, what if you're a backup quarterback that can't get on the field because someone's a lot better than you and you potentially could make it to the next level? You want to transfer. You shouldn't be held out a year because of that situation. So I kind of like it. But, you know, there's some situations where people aren't happy and they'll just transfer. But you have to look at better opportunities. And I think name, image, and likeness plays into this one, too. We got to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls. Some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there.